Hello, I'm Rochelle with the Edwards team. Get ready to take notes because this week we're covering the 4 things you need to know when buying, and we've enlisted the help of a special guest. Ready? Let's go. So you want to buy a house. Fantastic. This episode is for you. We are sitting down with Lindsay Bishop of the Mortgage Teacher team to share 4 things you need to know. Lindsay, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so let's dive in with the first thing a buyer needs to know about. Talk to me about credit. What score should we aim for? How do we build it? Lay it all out for us.
Well, there's 2 parts to this. It is about your overall credit score, but it's also about how much credit you have established. So for your score, as a reference, the minimum for a mortgage is at the 680 mark. 680 is considered good, 700 is considered great, and anything above 750 is excellent. I have seen as high as 900, but those people don't really exist, and if they do, they are just a special unicorn, and we don't see them very often. As a takeaway, score is very important, but it's not everything. It's also about your established credit, and these are called trade lines. So things like credit cards, lines of credit, student loans, car loans, etc. Banks like to see at least 2 of these trade lines established for 2 years for at least $2,000. So it's the 2-2-2 rule. As an example, sometimes you can have a great score of 700, but no real established credit, but banks need to see both. And sometimes people are afraid of getting credit cards because they don't want to borrow the money, but banks do need to see how you borrow smaller amounts of money before they're going to hand over hundreds of thousands of dollars in a mortgage. Absolutely. I can give you some tips on how to build it.
Are there any tips for getting your down payment together?
The minimum down payment, as long as you're using the home as an owner-occupied home, it is still only 5%. For a rental though, the minimum down payment is 20%. So the things that we're able to use towards your down payment are things like savings, RSPs, a gift from family, and in some cases you can still draw from a line of credit toward the down payment if you need to. So it will depend on your own personal situation if it makes sense to put more down or not, but that's something I'd be happy to chat with you about.
That's awesome. Now, I know that not all income is created equal. Are there any pearls you can share?
Yes, it seems that every single client has a different situation these days, whether it's full-time salary position, contract that may or may not be renewed, the list goes on. I would say the most crucial part of the mortgage process is to have your income reviewed by a mortgage professional before your offer goes in on a home. We need to make sure that you can qualify for a mortgage. There are banks who have online mortgage pre-approval calculators, but they do not look at the actual details of your mortgage to see if you qualify when it is a real deal. Kind of plug in the numbers and send you on your way, but it is really crucial to have someone look at your details ahead of time to save you from any stressful situations.
Absolutely. This is exactly why we suggest to our clients that they meet with a mortgage professional really early in the process. All right, last one for today. Lindsay, talk to us about affordability, things like the stress test and government guidelines.
Well, this is a question I get regularly. How can I determine what you can actually afford? My response is that the pre-approval number is based on what the government guidelines suggest that you can buy, and it sometimes is a little bit more or less than you actually want to spend. So how we figure that number out is we take all of your monthly debt payments, car payment, credit card, with your property tax, your condo fees, monthly heat, mortgage payment, and all of those have to total less than 40% of your income. The stress test essentially takes that mortgage payment, increases the rate to stress out your situation, to see if you can afford the home if rates go up in the next 5 years. So the number I give you will be based on the stress test max, and everyone's situation is so different. That's why reaching out is important, because we can chat, what your specific options are.
There were so many great tidbits shared today. Thank you, Lindsay. We truly appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Because every scenario is so unique, where can people find you to ask about their situation?
So Instagram, lindsay.mortgageteacher, or my Facebook, which is Lindsay Bishop Mortgage Teacher, or just by email or phone.
Perfect. Be sure to go check her out and give her a follow for more of these great insights. Thank you for watching. You have endless choices of where you spend your time, and you chose to spend some with us. We are truly grateful. Before you go, would you please give us a like, leave a comment, share, or tag a friend? It's how other people find us and what we are all about. Keeping it genuine, your realtors, the Edwards team of Todd Real Estate. That's something you need to work on.
That's something we're interested in.